and it is going to be Evans jumping up higher and getting the tap down and roving his own work as he did for much of that first quarter. He gets it down to Robinson, who sends one inside forward 50 for the Panthers to one-on-one contest, but the Macleod defenders do well. Bring it to ground, but it is going to be snapped, and just a high ball. Not going to go 15 metres, so Scooter White and Matt McGregor do well to just usher that one over the boundary line, but good sign early for the Panthers and an early opportunity on goal.
I'll tell you what, if that ball had gone a couple of metres to the left, McCormick was right on the boundary line with free space. He could have absolutely made them pay, but to McLeod's credit, they were able to kill the ball for the time being as the ball gets tossed back into play. They do want to handball it backwards, but Evans is going to be right on the boundary. He's going to kick it across goal. Opportunity here for Byron, who got hands onto it. He claims the mark. Was caught high anyway in the process, so take your pick, but Byron in best position to grab that footy, does so successfully, and now the big man will look for his 14th goal of the season, close range. Fantastic work from Matt Byron, who's been able to get some regular senior footy in after playing just 6 games for the Panthers last year. We know how much of a key focal point he is for this Eltham side, and it'll be a good confidence booster for him to get an early shot on goal here in this second quarter. So Byron starts his approach. The man on the mark, no more than 10 metres out. He's on the corner of the goal square, and Byron sneaks it through. And an early goal to start this second term works in favour of the Panthers. They move to 3-1-19. Macleod, a 3-2-20, and a good early goal there for Matty Byron, Josh.
A good confidence booster as well, and some good play there from the two big men. First, David Evans with the gather in these tough conditions, and it is pretty heavy underfoot out there. So, and to get the kick on the boot to Matt Byron with a really strong mark, and that's where players are going to look to be a bit more dangerous around that goalpost area, especially in these conditions.
So back in the middle of Eltham Central Park. Evans taps it down to Robinson, who bursts out, but he's dispossessed, and there's a free kick has been paid, and it is going to be high. So Robinson will have it, and Eltham will look to move things on quickly. He's got runners either side, doesn't take any of those options. Just going to go long himself, back inside forward 50. Going back with the flight was Barden, can't take the mark, brings it to ground. The Eltham small forward jumping on the ball, might have been pushed in the back, might have dived on it. Umpire says the latter. So it is going to be a free kick on the last line of defence to Darcy Barden, as Macleod look to get something going forward after the ball spending majority of the time inside defensive 50. As the clearing kick out of defence is intercepted, and Eltham will get another shot at going inside forward 50. It is going to be Culligan this time. He's just going to send a low dart.
Oh, great kick.
And it does find... So actually that wasn't Culligan who kicked it, because Culligan's actually taken the mark. So Colm Culligan will have a shot on goal for his second of the day. And a second early in this second quarter for Eltham. We've played just 3 minutes, but the ball has spent 100% of the time basically inside Eltham's forward half. So Culligan with little to no angle to speak of. And man on the mark standing about 35 metres out. Sends it, hooks it slightly left, and it stays out that side. So another minor score, which ties things up here at Eltham Central Park. 3-2-20 apiece. 3.5 minutes played second quarter.
So under a bit of siege here to start this second term, Macleod. They'll look to slowly get their way out of trouble. It's White, back pocket, sends it down the line, broadcast side. Eltham with the numbers here, plenty of flies. Out the back was Culligan, missed the footy completely. Out the back is Corrali. He can start getting things going for the Roos. He goes about 60 metres out from goal. It was a good kick in the end, and the Roos can play on. Martin did well to sell the candy, and then he sends it down the corridor. Bouncing ball for Chiminello, not a great one for him. Did well to pick it up, almost struck the tackle, but the Panthers steal the ball back. And now a chance for Darms, who's in the centre square. 60 out from goal, had nobody home. Out the back is Avramov if he can get there. Shane Doherty to one under pressure. He wants the boundary line. He's got the boundary line, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. So deep inside the forward pocket for the Panthers, who are gaining ascendancy in this contest. 4.5 minutes gone, second turn. They've kicked the only scores of this quarter, 1-1 to no score. And it's 3-2-20 apiece as we tick towards the 5-minute mark. Ball gets tossed up. Hudson front spot, two-handed tap. Looking for Ramor Beale. It won't get to him. And while the Panthers almost able to keep that ball in play, not to be. Robinson was certainly hoping so as he was trying to get his hands on it. He's still so dangerous around that area of the ground. So definitely one to keep an eye out for as the ball gets tossed back. Hudson tries to punch it, didn't get too much connection on it, does bounce towards the boundary line, and umpire happy with what he sees and will ask for a throw-in right next to the Macleod bench where Craig Hayes is looking to get his side his second win of the season.
And had a good first quarter, did Macleod, but it's been all Eltham in this second as Evans leads his opponent in Hudson to the ball, and there's a free kick which has been paid eventually, and it was a holding free kick, so it will go Macleod's way. And it is going to be Kobe Brandt with it on a half-back flank. Just trying to get something going forward for the Roos. Just goes with a low kick to a target there in Doherty. Goes through his hands and is just paddled inbound by the Eltham defenders. A big bump laid by the Macleod player, and Eltham players and fans wanted a high free kick there. Nothing doing. As a long kick comes in the direction of Chiminello. He's going to take possession, get a quick handball out. Now the Roos looking to go inside forward 50, but the pressure is coming from Eltham, and they're going to regain possession. A long kick forward, can't find a target. Byron's there, eventually mops up and gets a handball out, but it wasn't a genuine possession, it was a throw. So it is going to be mopped up by Shane Doherty. He'll have it defensive side of centre square.
Doherty sends it towards half forward. I think Martin may have been the target, but getting in front is Merkel. Hasn't missed a beat. Josh Merkel has been excellent in defence so far. He wants to go broadcast side. Byron's the target and had just enough space in front of him to take the diving chest mark. He wants to go corridor. Darms is the man and he gets him. Can get Robertson handball received, but there was too much traffic, so Darms wants to switch it across all the way to the outer side, and why not? Because the chipping ball inside, well, I think he was looking for Malloy, didn't get to him. McGregor now under a bit of pressure for the Roos, and the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throwing. No, it's just now been able to be taken over the line, and I think Josh, Eltham have been granted a lot of space. You feel like the Roos have got to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, their intensity is lacking a little bit, whereas you look at Eltham, their intensity is certainly up, looking to get over the top in this contest here.
Boundary throwing incoming. Hudson again, front spot. This time got a big fist. In fact, it was so wide, it went out of bounds on the full. So, bit of poor decision there from Hudson, who just wanted to thump it out of the area, but his punch went out of bounds on the full. So, it's going to be one back here by Eltham, who are still outside attacking 50. The numbers arrive towards the top of the goal square. Hudson's in the hole and gets front spot. It goes over everybody. At the back is Darcy Valance. And then eventually it gets away to Robinson, who doesn't need much space, but his kick is smothered. Still a chance here for Eltham. Darms got it over to Culligan. He handballs it back. Robinson has 3 to beat, and he's dispossessed of the footy. In the back is the call. To the jeers and the cheers, and a 50-metre penalty goes the way of the home side, and now there's a bit of intensity in the contest. Robinson's going to get a look right in front, and this will surely be his first goal in the black and the red.
Well, I think the eyes lit up of the Macleod defenders to lay a big tackle on a former AFL player in Mitch Robinson, and I think all three of them went a bit over the top with it, got him in the back, and it will be Mitch Robinson with it from point-blank range. Will kick his first goal for Eltham. Their second of this second quarter. As he comes in and sends that one through, and the Eltham players get around him, which is great to see here, as the Eltham fans love it. And Mitch Robinson has his first of the day. And Eltham take a 6-point lead, 4-2-26 the Panthers, leading Macleod 3-2-20.
Well, I was about to say, the set shot he was about to have, he was going to most likely get that shot, but it was just made a little bit simpler. But even though the Macleod pressure has been good on Robinson, he still found a way to impact as the former Blue and the former Lion, just showing why he played, I think, close to 250 AFL games with some brilliant passages of play in defence and attack.
We're back in the middle now, so Eltham really in control of this contest. Barden being put in the middle, trying to make things work for the Roos. Can't control it cleanly. Now in front of the contest, but it's going to be handballed away by the Panthers. Bouncing ball, tough for Evans to pick up. Now Macleod arrived to create some pressure. Out the back for White, tried to kick it off the ground, but it was held anyway without the footy. So almost a true centre-half forward is Justin White. The Roos captain wants to go towards the pocket. He's got a good man on the lead and a good mark taken by Paddy Martin. And this will be an important immediate response, although it is going to be a tough kick here for Martin.
It's just about to be the first time they've gone inside forward 50 in this second quarter, Macleod. So if they can make the most of this opportunity, it'll be a big blow for Eltham, who have dominated this first 10 minutes of the second quarter. But as you said, it's going to be a tough shot for Martin.
So he's kicked at least 20 goals in each of his last 6 seasons, of course. Coming back to the senior side this year, he's got 5 to his name so far. He's looking for a 6th, an important comeback goal here for the Roos, but it misses. It was always missing to the left-hand side. And the Roos bring the margin back to 5 points, 33-21 to 42-26. We are 10.5 minutes into the second quarter.
There's a long kick out of defence for the Panthers. And standing strong under that one is Robinson. He feigns a handball out to the right, but eventually just going to go with a kick to a 2-on-2 contest. The Macleod defender probably could have taken the mark, but paddles it down. It comes down to Evans, who gets a handball off. Now finds its way to Minahan. He snaps one inside forward 50, bounces over the Macleod defender's head. He's got back up there, luckily, and he's going to be cleared. Handball goes through the legs, and Robinson lays a big bump on his opponent, and eventually the ball does find its way out of bounds. And we'll have the throw in inside forward 50 for the home side. There's a crowd getting very vocal here.
Badgery throwing in, coming about 40 metres out from the Eltham goal. Didn't get to Hudson. Out the back is Donaldson, can get boots of ball till the goal square. Byron juggled, mark not paid, has 2 to contend with, doesn't get boots of ball. And eventually the Roos are rewarded with a holding the ball. Free kick. They needed 2 to take him down. They were able to do so. And it's going to be White who gets a short kick over, and now a chance here for Mackenzie Hogg. He's going to go towards the outer side with this kick, but doesn't get to his teammate in Sam Richards, and the ball will go out of bounds through a boundary throw-in. In fact, it's going to be one back here by Eltham, who are quick to go towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing balls towards the pocket. Robinson slips over as well as his opponent in a Mobile. And that will see a boundary throw-in. So we're 12.25 minutes into this second term. Eltham a 4-2-26. Macleod a 3-3-21. The Panthers have kicked the last 2 goals, and the only 2 goals of this second quarter. And I think we're going to get a boundary thrown in the same spot. We will. So it's going to be intriguing to see what the Panthers can do in this situation as the rain starts to make his way back to Eltham Central Park. There's a boundary throw-in. We've got Chiminello up against Evans. It's going to be Evans that juggles it, now holds possession of it. Umpire will call for a ball up.
If I'm Eltham in these situations, I'm looking for Mitch Robinson and Jesse Donaldson on the run.
Almost a chance there for Robinson, but they've got another Panthers teammate that can finish the job. And it's a great goal to Bell Chambers. And 3 straight majors now for Eltham. They've seen them push the margin out to 11 points. They move to 5-2-32. Macleod a 3-3-21. 13.25 minutes into the second term.
Really capitalising on this dominance now, Eltham, and it's what they need when we don't know what the rain's going to do for the rest of the afternoon. It might come down. It might become a bit of a slog. So 11-point margin becomes big in that situation. So Eltham doing their best in these conditions early in this second quarter. And as you said, 3 straight goals to kick it off. And we're 13.5 minutes played. So well on top at home are the Panthers as we find our way back into the middle. And it will be Chiminello going up against Evans. Evans gets the tap down, but wrapped up immediately is Donaldson. And we'll have a secondary stoppage. Chiminello does well, gets the tap down this time. It does find Hogg, but he's dispossessed. Eventually does find a way to get a kick out, but that one's intercepted. A quick handball over the top to Culligan. He can't take it cleanly. And it just bobbles its way out to the wing here as Valance does find it. He goes in and under, tries to get a handball out. That one's smothered. And eventually the umpire does call for it. Out of sight at Eltham Central Park, where the Panthers do lead by 11 points midway through this second quarter. The Panthers able to get a quick snap out, but taking a strong mark is Aston in his senior debut, the 26-year-old. Defensive side of centre wing for the Roos. Just going to go with a short kick inboard. It's turned over, and it will be Culligan taking that intercept mark.
He wants to look towards the near side. He's got a man in the middle first in Oscar Berry. They can complete the switch here towards centre wing broadcast side. They've got numbers here if they can push it forward. Chance here for Cook. Clever kick. Evans. He can chip it towards half forward. Bellchambers got strong hands, didn't take the mark on that occasion, and then was copped one in the face, but it seems to be okay as umpire calls for a ball up. So we're 60 metres out from the Eltham goal, who have done all the damage pretty much in this second term. Evans looking for Donaldson. Evans getting his own footy. Robinson ducked perfectly, and then Spencer high kick towards the Byron direction, who's going to be held and winning a free kick anyway. And Byron will look for his seconds, and again, just the smarts from Robinson there, Josh, to allow the kick inside 50.
That was a very smart duck at that as well. Not looking for the high free kick there, Mitch Robinson. And the kick inside 50 was in the perfect spot there for the big man, Matt Byron, to lay hands on.
So Byron now is looking for his second, for his 15th goal of the season. This one's going to be a bit of a harder shot on goal. The man on the mark's probably about 20 metres out, and maybe a 45-degree angle at best. So Byron starts his approach from 35 out, missing to the left. And Eltham move now to 5-3-33. Macleod at 3-3-21. Rouge wastes no time. Beale's got it in the back line. He wants to go towards the outer side and gets it to Barden, who's right next to the scoreboard. So the Rouge maybe started quick there, but looking for a patient build-up. They go down the line with the kick. Merkel all over that footy. And Eltham in control. They can move it here. Minahan's got the footy. Almost true centre wing outer side. He wants to play on quickly. Kick might work here for Cook. Will it get to him? Very courageous in that effort. Bounces away now to Robinson, who's able to quickly get boots the ball towards the boundary line. It's going to be a tough one for Valance if he can keep it in play. He does keep it in play, but it ends up going out of bounds anyway after the kick was smothered. And we'll have a boundary throw in 70 out for the Panthers goal broadcast side.
So it's Eltham Central crowd up and about here, with their side sitting an even 2 goals ahead, 2/3 of the way through this second quarter. Evans leads Chiminello to that ball, gets a tap down. Robinson has one hand held, eventually grinds boot to ball. Beale lays a big bump and a quick snap off the side of the boot through McCormick. Not the option in weather like this. It goes out of bounds on the full, so a bit of a let-off for Macleod. I tell you what, Tyler Beale has laid some big bumps in this matchup. It will be Scooter White with it right next to the behind post. So on the last line of defence for Macleod, just going to go long on the left boot. And Barden does really well, just uses his body to nudge his opponent under the ball and take a strong mark. He's going to go, and 2 Eltham players spoil each other. But the objective remains clear, and they get the ball over the boundary line in front of the Eltham bench.
So Josh Jarrett mentioned the Beale. We need a bit more of that from, I guess, more Macleod players as they try to win the ascendancy back. Because Eltham, only 12-point leaders, you feel like it should be more the way they're playing.
Yeah, it's certainly not like it's certainly only Tyler Beale, I feel, that's really looking to bring the pressure here. You know, those leaders such as Darcy Barden, Zach Hudson, those players, they really need to step it up, lift that intensity, and do what Beale is doing.
Evans gets a tap down, roves his own work, but his handball finds Barden, who kicks one off the side of the boot, and I think Tim Bonghetti's taken a mark in the coach's box. He would love that. I think he gets a bit edgy in the sidelines, wants to get out there playing, so he's getting right in the thick of the action is the Eltham coach. But the Panthers looking to get things going once again.
Eltham get that kick back to centre wing broadcast side, and then it's a downfield free that will work for Eltham. So Macleod certainly bringing the intensity, maybe not in the way they would be hoping for. They don't want to start being ill-disciplined. A card is about to come out because there was a downfield free and an Eltham player went to the ground.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's a Beale. And it looks like it will be.
Oh, I think it actually is going to be Eltham. Oh, looks as though there's at least a couple. So
yeah, Beale running towards the bench now.
So we just talked about his intensity in that situation, though. Probably not what Macleod needed. He's been a bit of a barometer for him, but the Panthers will have it centre wing broadcast side. It's in the hands of Byron. A bit more is going as now Robinson getting involved inside 50. There's a few players starting to get a bit chirpy as well. But it's Byron with the ball centre wing broadcast side. So this inside 50 kick going to be very interesting, you feel. Byron just assessing his options, not confident with anything laterally. So sends a spearing ball inside 50, and it almost works. It does work. And how he's picked Bell Chambers out of that, I don't know, but it is a fantastic mark from the 24-year-old. And Bell Chambers now can line up for his second almost directly in front, 35 outs.
I don't think it was intended for Alex Bell Chambers, but, well, he'll either be credited with a score assist or a goal assist here, Matthew Byron. That is still a pretty decent kick, and a better mark, I reckon, from Bell Chambers, because that was coming in like a tracer bullet.
Was at Banyule last year, Eltham the year prior. He's back at the Panthers. Is he back kicking goals as well? It gets there. And the crowd is lifting with the Panthers. They are starting to break away in this game. That's his second goal. The Panthers have kicked 4 straight majors in this term, and they move to 6-3-39. Macleod of 3-3-21, almost 21 minutes in the second quarter.
Well, it's almost panic stations, you could argue, for Macleod, with a 3-goal margin again in these type of conditions, and right into time on now in this second quarter. They just need to change things up here, the Roos, because Eltham have been well and truly on top. Alex Bell Chambers with the 2 goals this quarter has been looking really good up forward and in midfield. So just something needs to change, whether that be right now or in half time. Something needs to change for Macleod.
Back in the middle, 21 and a quarter minutes gone. Ball gets tossed up. Getting hit hard there on that occasion was Glasgow. Macleod have rarely seen it in this area of the ground, and they're not going to again as the Panthers win it back. Evans just gets boots the ball towards half forward. White came in hard but dropped the mark. Bell Chambers handball to Byron, didn't get to him, and then Byron comes in hard and lays a big tackle. Both teams know how much is at stake in this game. They are showing it with their actions at the moment. And 55 out, Eltham might have another crack here as the ball gets tossed up. Evans can't get it. Going in his Sitzers, ducking and weaving. Got the handball out wide. Can they keep it in play, the Roos? They can. Eventually, that ball goes out of bounds. And centre wing out of side at the 22-minute mark of his second quarter will have a boundary throwing.
So right in front of that scoreboard on the outer side here at Eltham Central Park, as we said, it's an 18-point margin in favour of the home side. And the umpire will throw the ball back in. It is going to be Hudson who, leading Evans to the ball this time, gets the tap down. And wrapped up is going to be Kobe Brandt. So umpire will call for a secondary stoppage on centre wing. And the ball does come back now, so it will be Hudson up against Evans. Evans just shoves Hudson out of the way. But the tap does go down to a Macleod opponent. A kick forward in the Martin direction. It bounces off his chest and trundles over the boundary line. So another stoppage on the outer side here. An opportunity for Macleod. They haven't had the ball inside their forward 50 all that much. It's probably been 2 or 3 inside 50s for the Roos in this quarter, which we have been playing 23 minutes. The tap does come down, and yet another stoppage. So laying a big tackle is Donaldson. And the umpire wasting no time as Evans just shoves Hudson out, gets the handball, and now it's going to find its way to a teammate, and the Panthers looking to move the ball quickly through the middle of Eltham Central Park. A quick handball over the top in the Culligan direction. He can't take clean possession. White does well to get a kick off the ground, but it's intercepted. And now a short one inside forward 50 for the Panthers. And the forward was held. And it will be McCormick with a shot on goal. He just got an early step on his opponent and made him panic and have a tug at the jumper. So it will be Jason McCormick with a shot on goal here to extend Eltham's lead to even 4 goals late in this second term.
That's exactly what it was, Jared, because you felt like with no contact, that was always going to be a tough ball for McCormick to mark. So it's probably unnecessary in the end. And we know what happens when McCormick starts to get confidence. He's now looking for his second major as well, as he'll kick from 35 metres out. This is to the right. As the Macleod fans just let him know that he has missed that one. 6-4-40 are the Panthers. Macleod of 3-3-21.
Looming large in that forward half, though, is Jason McCormick. He's had only a couple of chances, but they need to tighten up on him, Macleod.
So the Roos will try straight through to Corridor. They might as well at this point. Didn't get to Barden. The Roos almost gained clean possession. Sits this now. Has to get rid of the football. It was a sling tackle anyway. Kobe Brandt, he takes advantage. Martin slipped over. And Eltham almost, they didn't take the mark though, so now they're under a bit of pressure. They eventually clear their lines. Valance, he goes down the line towards the outer side. It doesn't get to Donaldson though. Shane Doherty with the intercept. Doherty almost defensive side on the outer wing. Called to play on, and with the right boot, sends it towards half forward. Big fly from Evans. He almost was able to take the mark, and will get called for a ball up. We saw what Evans did on Good Friday with a magnificent screamer against Greensborough. Would be even harder to do in these conditions, but we know he's capable.
There's a ball thrown back up and a quick clearing kick out for the Panthers. Does find Donaldson on defensive side of centre wing. He's going to go with a short one to his co-captain in the long sleeve in Valance. And he's going to look even further forward, go inside forward 50. There's a big pack of players. It's full of Macleod defenders. Finds its way out the back. There's a free kick that has been paid. And it is going to go in favour of the Roos. And they will to rebound out of defence. So you're just going to go laterally across goal to Sitsis. And they're just looking to slow things down now. Called to play on eventually by the umpire. Sitsis goes to a one-on-one on the outer side. And doing well to bring it to ground is Malloy. And the Eltham player is able to get a quick handball. Malloy finds it. He gets a shepherd from Evans. Turns onto that left boot. And then Byron coming through like a steam train. Takes a big mark on the pate of 50 metres. And he's going to go with a short kick to centre half forward where he does find a target. And now is dropped at centre half forward and set upon by two Macleod defenders. And a holding the ball free kick. So almost just trying to be a bit too cute with it in these positions. In this position going forward. And paying the price are Eltham.
Mackenzie Hogg deep in defensive 50. They will kick a short ball out, and Zach Hudson's got it almost true centre half back. He wants to get the handball going, and he's able to get it to Ryder Jones. He goes centre wing broadcast side. Robinson hot on his tails of Kobe Brandt. Panthers still win the footy. Malloy, Bell Chambers, holding free kick given to Malloy after he disposed of the footy. So things are really heating up at this point of the game. The 27 minutes gone into this third quarter, as the ball will look to make its way back to Malloy's possession, and the 20-year-old will resume things here at Eltham Central Park. He's got many options down the line. He looks laterally, doesn't like what he sees. He goes towards Byron, who was disposed of the footy. Well, Russ, in fact, gave the spoil away, and he's able to get the kick to find Papadis, and he's able to go towards half forward. Does it get to Martin? It doesn't. And then that ball goes out of bounds.
Byron's still down after that spoil. He's copped a big hit, so the trainers and Mitch Robinson are getting over to him now to make sure he's okay.
They don't need more injuries, the Panthers.
They definitely don't, as the ball thrown back into play here. Evans is able to get the tap down, and it's just being punched around now. It eventually comes out in favour of Eltham. They do well, get the handball game going. It does slip out, but they're able to regroup. It finds its way to Minahan, who gets it to Donaldson. Sends one inside forward 50. It's a one-on-one. Almost able to take the mark there was Cook, the debutant. And it's still Eltham. Minahan's in there again. He's tackled to ground. And another opportunity with a ball up for the Panthers.
Jeez, Harvey Cook, I'm impressed with this game in the forward half. Potentially an interesting duo with him and Jason McCormick in there.
Ball gets tossed up. Sitsis tackled by Robinson immediately. We'll have a secondary stoppage. That transitional play, though, from the Panthers out the back, it was almost perfect, but even so, just to be so clean at those pivotal moments in transition, it was excellent to see, and they'll want more of that. Robinson out of the pack, won't get to the goal line. Intercepted by White, not 15. He wants to go towards the outer side. He's looking for Anthony Doherty. Hot on his tail is Ayres. Ayres keeps that ball in play pretty well, and he goes to the top of the goal square. The Roos have the numbers here. That ball going towards the goal line, and I reckon Robinson's very lucky not to give away a free kick because he had absolutely no eyes on the footy on that occasion.
Well, he didn't have eyes on the ball, but he timed the jump perfectly and somehow got hand to it, but paddled it over the boundary line. So it is going to be White relieving for Macleod with the kick in. He doesn't find a target, just short with the kick. And it's allowed Eltham to lay a big tackle and cause another stoppage inside their forward 50. As McGregor at the bottom of that pack. He peels himself up off the ground. It is Evans and Hudson, who just told to get a metre between you before the umpire does throw the ball up. As there is the siren for half-time. Hudson actually punched that one out on the full from the stoppage. And Jesse Donaldson, smart, trying to call for a free kick there. Umpire says it was after the siren had sounded. So it will be Eltham with the lead at halftime, 6-5-41 the Panthers, leading Macleod 3-3-21. And this is an enthralling matchup, but Eltham well on top at home right now.
It certainly is. After being outplayed pretty much for the last 10-15 minutes of that first quarter, the Panthers have been able to turn things around really well, and it's to a point where they are able to take a comfortable 20-point lead into half-time. The Roos were only kept to one behind in that term, and that's put them on the back foot a little bit as it stands. So the goal scorer so far, 2 goals to Alex Bell-Chambers, singles to Matty Byron, Colin Culligan, Mitch Robinson and Jason McCormick. Meanwhile for Macleod, it's the same 3 goal kickers as we saw at quarter time, Kurt Manuel, Anthony Doherty and Jake Chiminello. Josh, you feel like the Panthers